Tell us about it. Big news. Okay. Probably the biggest news for Edison since we started talking about him.
I jumped up and down when I saw this. We love you, Edison Motors. The coolest thing happened. They got approval from their government, Environment Climate Change Canada, to sell hybrid electric Class 8 semi-trucks. This is so big. Mm-hmm. This not only does this open up opportunities for them as a company to sell highly specialized vehicles, which they're going to be building one at a time, basically, designed to burn so much less fuel. Their minimum that they can promise, these vehicles will be removing 20 tons of CO2 per truck. Yeah. And what they're actually getting is way more than that. They're burning so much less fuel. So anyway,
use case, it's highly dependent on use case.
Highly dependent on use case, but this is the kind of thing that not only does it change them, but it changes entire segments of this industry. For example, if you had a concrete truck, concrete trucks can't sit around and idle at 4 a.m. because they're loud as hell, and they keep that drum spinning, and they have to be on. Well, if you can run that concrete truck all day and all night, that concrete truck is now worth 2 trucks. So if it costs a little bit more to get a hybrid powertrain in it, which honestly, these are not that much more than the equivalent. They're like 20-30% is from what they're pretty close-lipped on how much anything specifically costs, but they have said that you should expect to pay 20-30% more depending on your application for this versus a regular gas one. And then that cost will go down as their production numbers go up. If you spend 30% more on a truck that you can use twice as often and is more than twice as reliable and uses potentially 30, 40, 50% less fuel, that's crazy. Do you know how much a regular semi-truck with a Cummins X15 engine costs to run for a year in fuel?
$1,000 to drive across the country minimum. So let's say they do 20 trips, $20,000 in fuel.
No, if you're running these on average at 50% load and you take off a whole month, so only 48 weeks out of the year, you're spending $305,000 in fuel every year.
It's like the price of the truck.
The truck is like $600,000. Okay. Theirs will be like $800,000.
So still, it's like half the price of the truck in fuel.
Yeah, every single year. But depending on the application, they can get that down under $100,000 a year. So it's opening up a whole new segments of vehicles that no one else can produce. No one else can produce a concrete truck that can run at night. Nobody else can do that. There's whole segments that only they will produce in.
The logging industry, especially, is going to be huge. To run these trucks up and down mountains.
Yeah, logging, they're getting over 70% fuel savings.
Fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I'm so happy for them. And they're a bunch of really hardworking guys. This guy bought a little hot dog warmer that you get that are like at Circle K or whatever. He bought a miniature one for his desk. And he's like, before you say anything, I bought this with my own money. He also bought a sauna for them to have out there because it's freaking cold. Okay, they're in Donald, British Columbia, Canada. And so they have that sauna, and that wasn't purchased with any investor money either. All of the investor money goes toward making the product. I'm just super happy for them. I'm stoked. I'm stoked because this almost looked, when I've heard that they were stopped by this, people could have pulled their investments.
Oh yeah.
People could have pulled the plug, and this thing would have been failure to launch.
Yeah.
And I was worried that might happen. And to see that not only is that not happening, but it's full steam ahead sooner than I think they expected.
Yeah.
The only hang up with the way this happened is that they have to use the Cummins X15. It's a regular engine that's already approved for on-road use.
It's not as efficient as something like a generator.
Exactly. It's not as efficient as a generator. To get it to run efficiently as a generator with a very, very narrow RPM range. So it's going to run better than if they didn't do that as far as sipping fuel, but it's not going to be as efficient.
It's not built for that.
Diesel generators in specialized applications can reach over 60% thermal efficiency, which if you don't know, your regular car gets about 25% thermal efficiency. So for the same amount of energy in gasoline or diesel in your fossil fuel, this thing will get more than double the electricity out of it than you would get motion in a regular car. Yeah. That's including the changing to electricity and then changing to whatever. You get it. Pretty soon they're going to be able to get generators, not just on-road approved vehicle engines. And the way they did it is they classified the engine as an emissions assistance device. So the whole engine is there to help with emissions, which is why they needed to prove it removes a certain amount of CO2.
I'm happy for them, but man, if this doesn't showcase how burdensome.
Oh my God.
And this isn't just Canada. This is anywhere. The fact that it's easier to find a clever workaround than to actually get something amended. And these trucks are so much better if that's what you care about the environment. Trucking's not going away.
Right. Neither is diesel fuel.
These trucks are so much more efficient, so much better for the environment. You should be parting the Red Sea for these guys from a regulatory perspective.
You should be jumping up and down.
They found a way to do it. And not only is this just super cool technology that I think, as kind of engineering minded, like we just find it really interesting. These are cool guys, and they're really
cool
passionate
guys.
about this.
Even their little member only videos, in order to stock the toilet paper in the shop, they took a toilet paper sponsor so they would get a bunch of toilet paper in the shop. Like they're doing everything to spend as little money as possible on anything other than engineering.
Yeah.